Central Bureau of Investigation Chief Ranjit Sinha from India has made some comments about rape that some people find very controversial. Now, before I read you what his quotes were, I just want to tell you that he could be a victim of his own ineloquence, because it's very unclear as to what he meant in his previous or initial statement. Now, they were having a debate about whether or not they should legalize gambling in India, and originally he came out in favor of legalizing it, making the argument that, hey, if we ban it, people are still going to do it, we might as well get some revenue from it. And while he was making his argument, he said the following quote in context, okay? He said, "Do we have the enforcement? It is very easy to say that if you can't enforce it, it is like if you can't prevent rape, you enjoy it. So it's better to have something to legalize it and then earn some revenue rather than throwing your hands up and let things happen." So as you can see, I mean, look, it's really difficult to understand what he's saying. I can't tell by reading that in context whether or not he is an advocate for rape, as some people have accused him of. I mean, what do you think?
So look, it's a poor analogy either way. I'm
Yes.
clear on that. I don't. I'm also clear that it's an analogy, right?
Yes.
He's not saying, "Hey, if you're getting raped, enjoy it." He's not just saying that by itself, right? But whether it's a positive analogy or a negative analogy is totally unclear, right? So if it's one thing if he says, "Look, man, these people saying we should do the betting because you can't control it anyway," right? That doesn't make any sense. It's like saying if you're getting raped, you might as well enjoy it. So there he would be saying an analogy where saying that's a bad way of thinking about it.
Exactly.
Right?
But he didn't say that so clearly.
Yeah,
if that's what he meant.
It seemed like he was saying the opposite. Like, well, if we can't control it anyway, we might as well get some money out of it. Then it seems like he's using it as a positive analogy. Well, if you're getting raped, you might as well enjoy it.
Yes.
Right? In which case, that's a big problem. I mean, look, obviously, that would be a big problem if the head of criminal enforcement in any country said that about rape. But especially in India, where rape has been such a huge issue and maybe that was why it was top of mind for him. So I'm mixed on this, Anna. I mean, like, I think that it was a stupid thing for him to say either way. Why wade into those waters? Why make that analogy? You're going to get in trouble for it. It's dumb, right? On the other hand, am I convinced that he maliciously meant like, if you're getting raped, you should enjoy it? No, I think that people are taking him out of context on that.
There have been many irresponsible reports that have taken him out of context, and they made it seem as though all he said was, if you're getting raped, you might as well lay back and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
But that is not what he said. If you put it in context, it doesn't clarify things anymore. It actually makes things a lot more confusing, but it does make clear that you don't know what his intentions were, what he meant. Now, he did try to clarify what he meant, but what I found fascinating is originally he was in favor of legalizing the gambling, and then when he clarified his statement, he said that he wasn't in favor of legalizing gambling, and this is exactly what he said. He said, "If the laws cannot be enforced, that does not mean that laws should not be made. This is as erroneous as saying that if rape is inevitable, one should lie back and enjoy it." Okay, to which he also added his deep sense of regard and respect for women and commitment to gender issues.
So that's the positive interpretation. That was one of the options, right? So he's coming back and reinforcing that, saying like, look, I meant it as a negative analogy, like you shouldn't think that, right?
Exactly.
So look, my overall conclusion on this is, you know what? Before I give my conclusion, drop it. All right. My conclusion is suspension. No, not some sort of action where they say this is not acceptable, right? Don't even wade into these waters. We don't want anyone even getting the misinterpretation of what he said, but don't fire the guy, because I don't think he meant it in the way that people are saying.
Yes, so here's my ruling. Obviously in India there's a huge problem with rape, just to give you guys some statistics, and also keep in mind that there are many people living in India. So these statistics are huge, but you also have to include the population. 1 woman is raped every 30 seconds. Married women are found beaten to death, burnt, or driven to suicide every 6 hours. So they have a huge issue with women, women being abused in the country. Now, with that being said, he is the type of person who investigates and prosecutes rape cases. So I would want to look into his track record, right? So what did he mean by his statements, and how has he prosecuted people accused of rape in the past? If there is some sort of trend implying or indicating that he doesn't take these cases seriously, or he gives these alleged rapists a pass, then we have a problem. So I would want more information.
All right, that is not acceptable to the court, obviously. You must have a guilty or not guilty ruling, so Casper, go.
Then I abstain since I do not have enough information.
Okay, all right. We have let the Chief Justice abstain from time to time. In this case, he might be deciding the issue at hand. Chief Justice Godoy, what say you?
I would go definitely not guilty, and I wouldn't even give him the suspension. I mean, at the end of the day, we're kind of human. We're all human. We're not kind of. We are human. So, depending on, obviously, we don't know his history, but not knowing that at this point, I wouldn't necessarily fire him or suspend him.
All right. I like the what will be etched in stone from the Chief Justice. We're kind of human. Okay, and that is one to grow on. And we have a ruling here, 2-0 with an abstention. Don't fire him, okay? But it's not to say that it was a smart thing to say, and it's not to say that you shouldn't look into how he's prosecuting things, and is of course right, we all agree that if he has a track record of not prosecuting rape, that's what matters the most, but there is no evidence of that, okay?
Correct.
So make sure you got it in context, and I think everybody, including himself, wishes he hadn't put it that way.
Definitely. I think, like I said, it's highly possible that he was just a victim of, being ineloquent,
Right.
just not expressing what he meant in a good way. So.
Yeah, and I want to make one last point here. Jesus, can you put up his picture again? And this has really obviously been bothering him. He's been crying his eyes out. Am I the only one who thinks those are the reddest eyes I've ever seen? Okay. Hey, Ranjit, it's going to be okay, man. TYT Supreme Court, believe it or not, ruled not guilty. It's going to be all right, dog. Hang in there.